Hi everyone, how are you? All right, I'm in a very strange mood today. I'm in a very verbose mood, so this is not going to be a short Julie's Jewel. I'm also in my kitchen because I recorded a podcast with a rabbi this week. It was very fun, but my office had too much natural light, so I've been sitting in my kitchen, which is like a makeshift office type of setting, but this is actually my kitchen table. And I've been doing my coaching this week in my kitchen, and it's like kind of fun. Before we get started, I want to show you my insane outfit just because I think it's really fun. This is my sequin top, and I'm wearing like silver jeans, and look at my shoes. These I got in Las Vegas, and I'm going to a drag club tonight with a few of my friends, and so this is what I'm doing for that because it seems to make sense. So yeah, that's just part of my mood. Just sequins, bling, doing it up. So my jewel for today is about the importance of generosity in leadership, that great leaders are generous leaders. I don't want to overcomplicate this because if I'm going to be super reductive about it, what I want to say here is don't be an asshole when you're a leader, but there's more to it than that. So what does generosity in leadership look like? Why would you want to be generous? First and foremost, there's an abundance mindset that allows you to share the spoils. Knowing that if you give to other people, if you share with other people, it doesn't mean there's less for you. So I'm going to use examples in my life for all of these because I have so many models of generous leadership in my life and I want to share. I posted about her on LinkedIn recently. Her name is Emily Golden. She's my work wife. She started Golden Resources, which is a coaching talent management platform. It's pretty robust and pretty built out. She comes from talent and HR in the chemical industry, and she's been a coach for many years. She's a master certified coach. She's also one of my closest friends. She's my mentor, and she's my muse. And Emily has really taught me about generous leadership. So she has this big, robust coaching platform. She has significant and deep relationships with a lot of institutional clients, and she brings them in, cultivates these relationships, and then sources coaches to work with individuals in organizations. And, she's fed me work, yes, so that's generous, but it's not just that. She thinks of me when she thinks of partnering for workshops, program development. We rely on each other to provide brainstorming and to share information and to actually offer coaching support. Emily is responsible for a good chunk of my business and my revenue. And not only that, I've gotten so much exposure as a coach through working with her and through with Golden Resources. And here's the thing, she didn't have to. She didn't have to do that with me. She has a lot of other coaches, which I'm sure she's equally generous with. That was not a well-constructed sentence. She's generous with other people too. It's not just me, but I'm just going to speak from personal experience. And I don't ever get the sense that Emily feels threatened by me or that giving me work or allowing me to work with coaching clients, in companies with whom she has the primary relationship diminishes her authority, her power, her presence, her relationship in any way. In fact, I think Emily knows, and I'll sort of speak to this more at the end, that this is a win-win, that if I do good work, which I pride myself on doing, if I do good work, I help cultivate and build that relationship. I generate referral sources. If my clients that I'm working with through Golden Resources leave their organizations, I can then plug for Golden Resources and or me to work with that person when they go to another company. It's a win-win. Generous, sharing, abundance. So that's the first thing. Sharing is the mark of a generous leader. What else? Not taking credit for other people's ideas. So when I think of like the worst offender in this area, a movie example comes to my mind, Working Girl. Sigourney Weaver, not a good leader, not generous. Do not go through Tess, right? She steals Tess's idea, Melanie Griffith's idea, and she pawns it off as her own, tries to pass it off as her own. And at the end, the banker is asking Sigourney Weaver to say, how did you come up with this idea? And she couldn't figure it out because guess what? It wasn't her idea. So good, generous leaders don't take credit for other people's work. In fact, they are more than happy to ascribe credit. They either announce in the right settings, this was this person's idea, or they publicly acknowledge them in spaces where they can get that acknowledgement or get visibility with other stakeholders. But they certainly don't take the credit. They give the credit because the credit is due. I have an example of this. So, and this is kind of a self-congratulatory thing in a way, but I don't really mean it to be that way principally, but I'm realizing it might be. So I posted about this yesterday. I got a testimonial from a client I worked with who was a senior leader in a campus Hillel. And in the wake of October 7th, 2023, many Jews like myself felt apoplectic, bereft, destabilized, wanted to do something. And I was one of the people who was like, I want to do something. What do I do? And I gave money and I went to events, but it felt insufficient. Meanwhile, one of my colleagues, Gideon Coleman, master certified coach, did something. And here's what he did. He generated partnerships with organizations like Hillel's, American Jewish Congress, federations, other Jewish organizations. He generated partnerships with them to provide pro bono and low bono coaching services to leaders inside those organizations who needed tremendous support after October 7th. How are you a Jew? You're working for a Jewish organization. There's existential threats in the world to Jews, especially with the campus Hillels, where there were encampments and really open, insidious anti-Semitism. What can we do to support these people? Let's coach them. Let's rally a group of coaches to volunteer to support these people. This is the program Gideon put together. So he created the relationships with the organizations, and then he mined his coach community for willing participants to volunteer their time to provide coaching for leaders in these organizations. So I brought my testimonial, I posted my testimonial yesterday, but in that testimonial, I gave credit to Gideon because Gideon did something. He catalyzed some of this energy and turned it into something really valuable and useful that made a huge difference for a lot of people in a very difficult time. And I was and am grateful to have been a part of that experience. It's interesting because he messaged me after I posted that and said something to the effect of, I didn't realize I needed to hear thanks or gratitude for that. And I'm thinking about that now, and I'm thinking, yeah, we all do. We all do not want to be overlooked for our contributions. We all want to be heard and validated for our ideas, our thoughts, and things that we're doing and contributing to the world that make a difference. It's a very natural human thing. And it's not about, it's about credit, but it's not about like bragging about it. It's about being acknowledged. So Gideon, I acknowledge you. And I say to everyone out there that generosity in leadership, part of that is giving credit to the folks who generate these innovative ideas. The third thing that I want to highlight as a part of generous leadership is visibility. And this goes along with credit. So if you are a generous leader and you're not an asshole, not only do you give credit to the people who come up with the ideas, but you give them visibility. You enable them to be known and seen for what they're doing. So here's a great example. I have two examples of this. One is a client I'm working with right now who, this is how she walks through the world. She's all about giving credit and visibility and opportunity to the people who work for her and with her. So she is a senior compliance leader in an organization, and she is creating a governance structure where there was none. It's a startup business. There has been rudimentary, to say the least, compliance, and she's putting it together from scratch. And so she's creating processes and systems. And as a part of that, she's collaborating with other people, one of whom is a lawyer who is developing an AI bot to be a part of this process, to sort of vet documents for compliance requirements. I don't really understand exactly what he's doing. That's not the point. The point is that he's creating something innovative to be a part of this governance structure that will be used and effectuated and will make a huge difference in cost savings, efficiency, and regulatory compliance. My client has more visibility with senior stakeholders. She could speak to this piece of the pie. She could download it. She could maybe give him credit, maybe not. She is going to bring him to the meeting and let him speak to his innovation. It sounds like a little thing, right? Like, duh. Except so many leaders are not willing to do that. They want to hoard the spotlight. So this is another piece that is required of a leader who is generous. You need some humility, some recognition that, like, it's okay to share the spotlight with somebody else and not just say this was their thing, but let them speak to it. Give them the visibility. I have another example of somebody who has always done this well. I've been speaking with her today because we want to co-author a piece about nuance. But anyway, her name is Kelly Breslin. She's the chief marketing officer for a law firm. And ever since I've known Kelly, one of the markers of her leadership is generosity, but specifically she grows her people, and she not only allows for, but creates opportunities for her direct reports to shine. She supports them, she trains them to do that, but if they have an idea, she will let them run with it, showcase it, speak to it, present on it, demo it, what have you. So it's not just like, oh, let me shout out to so-and-so and give this person credit. It's let me create a pathway for this person to be visible and to have a leadership opportunity of their own to present, to answer questions, and to showcase their contributions. That, again, takes some humility. So sharing, giving credit where credit is due, and visibility. These are three really important things. Why would you want to be generous? Well, it's the right thing to do. But also, remember, this is about having an abundance mindset. If your people are doing wonderful things, this is a win for you. It's a win for them, but it's a win for you. Nobody's losing here. So why not let them have the spotlight? If anything, it speaks to your management, your investment in them, your training of them, and of course, that they're shining and doing well. You have to be willing to see it that way, because I think what we're seeing a lot of in the world right now is this territoriality and this scarcity mindset. If I give you something, that means less for me. If I let you do this or allow you to run with that, that means net loss for me. It doesn't. It does not mean that. Change your mind about that if you think that way. The most gracious, effective leaders understand that there is enough for everyone, and that when your person shines, when people you work with shine, you all shine together. So I think I'm going to stop talking now. This is really long. I hope you like my sequin top. I'm enjoying it. Have a wonderful weekend. Be generous.